What up, world? Live on that with Mr. Be Great today, Lamar King Sr. Thank you for tapping in with me. I'm just gonna jump right in. Today we're gonna talk about when you've decided to make that change for the better. Like, it's a challenge. It's really a challenge to become a different version of yourself. It's not an easy task. And when a person decides to change for the better, more times than not, they've tried in the past or before today, they've tried to change, and for some reason or another, they failed. They backslid. They went back to their old ways. They went back to their old habits, their old friends, the old playground, the old playmates. And even in the midst of going back or falling back on their word or falling back on the promises and the goals that they set for themselves, they find themselves in familiar situations. They find themselves going through the same obstacles that they were changing from. And that shit hurts. That shit doesn't feel good when you've told yourself that, hey, I'm finna stick to this diet. I'm finna stick to this gym regimen. I'm finna, stick to reading or whatever task you're trying to accomplish or whatever obstacle you're trying to overcome. And when you get to a point and you fail, and you get to a point and you have to go back on your word, that shit is self-humiliating at times. You want this change so bad. You want this new you so bad that when you fall short, you become that self-talk comes back up. See that I told you. I don't know why you're trying to change. I don't know why you're trying to be this new person, this booze. You trying to do all that. You know who you are. And you tell yourself that. But I'm going to tell you something that hurts even worse. When someone close to you tells you that. You've already told yourself that. That's what makes it so humiliating. That's what makes it so, unfulfilling, and even to try to change. Because the moment you slip, the moment you make a mistake, not only does that inner voice come in and beat you down and become self-inflicting about the decisions you've made, and you know what you wanted to do, you wanted to be a better person, you wanted to stick to the plan, and somehow you didn't. You fell short, you became weak, and you resorted back to your old ways. But when it comes from a loved one, when it comes from that person that you sleep with every night, when it comes from that brother, sister, mother, cousin, when it comes from someone so close to you who were rooting you on your way as you was making that change, yourself included, you were rooting yourself on his way or his or her way to a better person, a changed mindset, changed habits. You were rooting like, yes, we got this. You got up every morning with conviction. You went on your way. You had a little extra pep in your step. And then as soon as you fell short, you were the first person to sabotage your mind. You were the first person to say, see, I told you. I don't know why you trying to, do this. And then you turn around and roll over, and the person next to you says the same thing to you. A double dose of words that continue to kill the dream that you're trying to do. And that's the most difficult part about changing your life or changing your mindset or changing a habit. It's not just the voice from the people on the outside, it's that voice inside of you to make you feel even, to make you get back to the old, because the old you, and I speak on this so often, the old you wants to be back in control. Even the people that are in your life, they want the old you back because they know the trigger points of the old you. They know the weak spots. They know where to suck like, and they do it sometimes involuntary. They don't even know they're doing it. They think they're helping. Oh, I just want to be honest with you, and I need to tell you what's going on. Who asked you? Where's that same person that was rooting me on when I was about change? Where's that person that I'm so proud of you? I'm so, let's take a person that's maybe dealing with addiction, right? And we all have people in our families, and a lot of us have personally dealt with addiction, whether it be drugs, alcohol, or otherwise. Women, men, sex. Like, we all have had an addiction. Eating. And when you decided that, hey, I'm changing my life. I'm not drinking no more alcohol. I'm not smoking no more weed. I'm not doing no more cocaine. And if anybody that's around you, and of course yourself has been around you the longest, you've been with yourself, but the people around you see you start to change. They see you're looking better, you're acting better, you look, everything is going good. They're like, yes, I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. And then just say you relapse. Say you find yourself back at the bar. You find yourself back in the trap. You find yourself jumping from woman to woman or man to man once again. And the people who you've let in on your change, the people who you've told that, hey, I'm changing my life, they'll be the first people, some of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but some, they'll be the first people to come in and sabotage your mind even more. Because they want to hold you back in certain ways. Because when people start changing, people can't handle them the same way. People can't, they can't poke at them and make them react. Because we're reactionary people. If someone comes up and starts talking to you and you don't say anything back, people look at them like, don't you hear me talking to you? Like, people want to, but I noticed that when you're making these changes and you've come into this new mindset, and now you don't think the same way. Now some of your views may have went to the other side of the spectrum. Now you don't eat the same thing. Now you don't indulge in the same activities. And those people who are rooting you on, with them it's, oh, it won't be long. Oh, that's just a friend. That's deplorizing, people. That is, if you're that friend or that spouse or that sister or that brother or that mother or that father that is constantly poking at a person's past life as a vendetta to make things, go your way, or for someone to see things your way, that's the worst thing you can do to a person. I think you need to go. And a lot of people need to check themselves. And I can't say I've sat down and just tried to, shoot down a person's dreams, because majority of my life is always trying to be a better person, even in situations where I wasn't. And the people that change, people who make that change, people who have said, you know what, I'm through living their life. They've been thinking about that process their whole life. They felt short at some point in their life. It's not like they just magically one day woke up and said, okay, I'm changing. No, that process, that thought has came up numerous of times in the past, and they continued to fall short. But then once they start making strides, once you start making strides, young lady, when you start hitting that gym every week and you start feeling better about yourself, trust and believe. There could be some people that are speaking negativity in your life. I see a lot of it. For example, I see a lot of people going with the natural locks now. A lot of people, they're growing their hair out, men and women alike. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful hairstyle. But we all know, when you start in those locks, when you get to that quote unquote ugly stage, y'all don't hear me. When you get to that ugly stage, so-called quote unquote ugly stage of the lock journey, people with lock, they know what I'm talking about. There's so many people, family members, friends, colleagues, children, your spouse maybe. You need to do something with your hair. What you gonna do, cause it's just forming. When you get the little bitty dookie, the little spot, the little bitty dread, they're just now starting, then you can't control them. They're all over the place. People and I trust me, I had locks for years. And I've, man, why your hair? And I cut my hair a lot of times because of so many people saying, man, you need to cut. And my locks got probably shoulder length at its longest. Not even that long. It took about 2 years to do that. But the journey through it, people just, oh, you need to cut your hair. You need to cut it, like jobs. You need to cut that. That's not, that's not professional, like all that. But once those bad boys get down past shoulder length, once those things start splurging, and even the free forms, the ones that are not manicured and twisted, once they get a certain length, once they get long and they start flowing like water, you're like, oh, people want to touch it then. People are like, oh my God, look at this. But they don't understand the journey you've been through. And if you can't get through that stage where people saying you need to cut your hair, what you gonna do with what are you doing with your hair? What is that? That's just like when you're changing. Changing is like going through the ugly stage of having locks. When everybody's telling you need to stop that. That ain't you. You need to go back to the old you. You need to go back to what you look like before this. It's the same thing when you're on that change journey. When you're trying and you're focusing your tunnel vision on, look, I'm a new person. And the reason why a lot of times you get that backlash or that pushback is because they want to see if it's real. They don't believe. But I'm here to tell you, on that Mr. Big Bag today, we believe in change. We encourage change. We salute change because I know what it's like to continue to live a life where your mind is all over the place, when you're concerned about this and you're concerned about that. But folks, like, be great today. Oh, you can't stop. Because that's the only thing I can do. And a lot of times people will try to shoot down your dreams. They will try to shoot down your goals with their little slick words, their little slick comments. Shade is what they call it nowadays. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like it's a challenge, people. And I'm here to tell you that through it all, get through that ugly stage of your locks of life. Get through that ugly stage so when it start growing and flowing, for my ladies and gentlemen that got lost, and the ones who I've seen so many friends on my timeline who started with those little and look, and 2-3 years later, it's like, man. But no one can understand. And you'll know that people with locks, especially say if you just got from one stage to where your locks were short to now they're long and flowing. People are like, ooh, your hair grew so fast. Ooh, how did it get so long so fast? But they wasn't there. They don't know it took you 2-3 years. Minimum most times. Unless you like women who can start or a male who had long hair and started with longer hair. But if you started with like low haircut or 2 or 3 inch hair, like low, man, you got to go through some different changes. Just like when you're changing your life and you're changing your mindset and you're changing habits, you're changing people and friends and playgrounds and playmates and all that. When you start changing that, you can be gone for a year and people be like, man, where you been? You been gone forever. Where you been? And if it wasn't for social media, a lot of times people wouldn't even know. But now we live in this social media world. We live in a world where everything is on the internet. And I'm all for it. My platform is on the internet. I have no problem with the internet. I enjoy it. But don't let, how people try to do. Don't let the fact that you've changed and you made some changes in your life, and some people don't see it or don't benefit from that change anymore. They may not like the way you're moving. Now, it's okay to take advice. It's okay to take heed or have a dialogue about a situation. But to shoot down a person's dream because it's not going as you may see it, or to constantly just say little slick stuff. Like, you see it. Like, I'm not naive and I'm not blind to the fact that this happens. And this is what we do here. We're going to be honest. We're going to talk about the things that people don't want to talk about, because once you start making those changes in your life, once you start, putting yourself in a situation or putting yourself in a different mindset and how you react to things and how you do things or what have you, the people that are closest to you sometimes can be a very, very, very hindrance to your continued growth. Because they want to see if it's real. They want to test the waters. They want the old you back. Oh man, why you always want to go to the gym? I don't want to go to no gym. Let's go to the bar. Let's go brunch. Let's go to the day party. Let's go out tonight. And you know what I mean? Like, that's what they want. They don't want that person that's at the library, or you know what I mean, or constantly reading, or you know, got a book in their hand everywhere they go. They don't want that. They want that person that they've always known. And a lot of times they want that person to react in the way that they've always reacted. They want that person to, you know, do the things they've always done that favors them. Because when change comes along, a lot of stuff is going to fall off. Because you're going to start seeing life in a different light. Conversations are going to change. You'll find yourself and when you find yourself quiet around a bunch of people doing a lot of talking, you're probably around the wrong crowd, because they're not talking about things of your interest. Like, if you become a gym rat, you start going to the gym every day, and you start, you know, meeting people on social media who go to the gym every day, talking about diets and, you know, meal prepping, and you're talking about all different regimens that you do and all this. Like, you can't talk about a person who talking about Ruth Chris, who talking about, oh man, talking about, you know, all the junk that they're consuming in their body. You're going to want to hang around people that's talking about, you know, gym activity. And guess what? Those people that you probably used to hang with and, you know, do this and do that. Now, sometimes some people, you can have some diverse, you know, relationships with people, whether it be friend, you know, whatever, right? But when you find yourself elevating, I'm talking about leveling up. And because it's a steady climb, but when you hit another plateau, like, okay, I'm here now. Mentally, physically, emotionally, the people who still were where you were sometimes can't relate to that change. And oftentimes they'll want you to come back to where they are, or they want you back they want you back even beneath them, because now you're going too high. So let me pull them back down. Let me give them, you know, get them on my level or lower. And trust me, the old you wants to go back down. The old you is like a little kid at the fair standing like, yeah, I want to go. Let's go back down there. Let's go back down there. I want to go down there. I want to go. Let's go turn up. Let's go do this. Let's go. And the new you's like, man, shut up. Like, we're here. And you have to catch yourself, because the old you will also have you want to react to certain situations, to the little shady comments, to the shots that are thrown at you. The old you want to bring it back out. But I'm telling you, you don't have anything to prove to anybody but yourself. And I'm telling you, we are human beings. We are human. We are not perfect. We can't just block things out. We can't just, you know, people like, just ignore it. We're human. We are human. We are not robots. We will go down a certain path if we're allowed to. If we allow ourselves to. That's why you got to be, when you're talking about change and you're talking about growth, you can't allow that old you, that little, hey Spike, you know the cartoon with Spike and the little dog, hey Spike, can we be cool, Spike? He's just jumping around. He want to go back down. He want to go back down to the level where the friends at, where the turn up at, where the you know, non-substance topics are being discussed, where, you know, where it's just back and forth chaos. Like, the little you wants to go down there. That's where it's at. They want to go back down there, to the college years, where it was just, you know, just whatever. You just live by the seat of your pants. But as your mindset grows, and as you start doing new things and changing your life, there are going to be a lot of people that are close to you, because the people that were not that close, they won't necessarily see the real change. It's the people that are most close to you. Sometimes, like, especially like at your job or you know, your circle of influence, your friends, family, they're around you, and sometimes they don't want that change to happen, or they don't want to see it go so high. And that's what you have to continue to, be in control. Continue to, get that self-awareness, be able to build yourself some thick skin because it's coming. And that's how so many people cut their dreads before they grow, before the change happens. That's why people cut their dreads before their change happens. Because a lot of times they're worried about what's being said about them, and the looks and the slick comments or whatever, and they cut it. And they don't allow those locks to grow long and beautiful and flowing. And then at that point, once the change really sets in and it's there, now everybody is in awe by your hair. Now it's like, oh my God. Now the response you're getting is like, it's fulfilling. People are like, oh my God, your hair is so beautiful. But then think about it when you were at 6 months. When you were 6 months in, people were like, oh, I like it, yeah. They'll give you that little fake smile and shit, they don't want to talk about your hair. They'll leave it out like, and you're feeling some type of way too, because it's new for you. But when they start growing long, they want to talk about your, in certain circles. They like, oh my God, your hair is beautiful. They don't say that at 6 months in. Just being real. And I just want to give y'all that today. And just to understand that I know change is hard. Because when you start making changes, a lot of people aren't going to believe you. Even yourself. You're not going to believe it. And definitely a lot of people that's around you are not going to believe it. But I'm here to tell you, continue to be the bigger person within yourself. In all cases, pretty much in all instances, damn what they say. But I know it hurts. I'm not saying you want to break down and cry hurt, but you're like, damn. God damn. You my folks. You gonna do me like that? You have to just say, okay. Or you be like, man, I thought we were partners, man. We've been, girl, I thought we were cool. And it's disappointing more than anything. It becomes a disappointment. And it's like, wow. If you acting like this now, wait till you see when I really level up. And you should be embracing it, because guess what? Especially if you're close to me and you can notice my change that significantly, that close. I value your opinion on things. And that's why it really hurts, because the people that are close to you, you value their opinion. Like a person down the road or, on the internet, I don't know you. It ain't that big of a deal. But when slick comments, shade, when they come from close circles, they hurt a little bit. They sting. They like a little pinch. Like, God damn. Like, you gonna do me like that? I thought we were tight. I thought we were cool. And that's why you have to continue. And that would make people, again, that would, in my now, that would make people cut their dreads before they even grow. That would make people stop their change before they even see any, benefit from it. Because they're, the words that are coming from it, they mean something, because they're coming from people that really mean something to them. Because even people at work, like it's some people that you don't even talk to, but it's some people that you talk to every day on the job. Them people, they cool. I ain't saying I'm gonna lay down my life for them, but there's got to be some type of mutual feeling if we kicking it like that. And when you get those discouraging words or discouragement looks, or they want you to go back to what you've been doing, or they want you to go back to a way you've been thinking. They want you to react. Oh man, you like shit. That nigga would have did you like that, man. I remember time. See that you hear that when you hear people say, I remember time you would have. I know you do. But I'm not that person anymore. That's what you have to explain. I'm not that person. You can't push my buttons. You can't make me be this person that I'm not. And I'm telling you this, and obviously you ain't getting it. But that's for them to figure out. But you continue to grow and don't give up on your change. Don't give up on what you got planned and your goals and your dreams, because I tell you, man, the world is a trip in that aspect. It really is. And I hope I helped someone. I hope I gave y'all some words. Don't stop pushing. Don't stop pushing. I know when it comes from that inner circle like that, it hurts a little bit more, but don't cut your dreads off before they start flowing like water. I love you all, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. Hope I help y'all. Be great today. Peace.